Hey everybody, I'm back today with a layout for Wild Whisper. I'm going to actually be mixing two different collections from them. So I'm going to be mixing the 6 Feet Apart collection, mostly because I just want to use that paper. And the other one is the Serenity collection from Pam Baldwin, and it's beautiful and gorgeous, and we're going to play with it both. I'm also going to be doing a layout using multiple photographs. There are 6 on this layout. So these photographs, I had them printed at 3x4 with a white border to make them just a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to go ahead and crop them down a little bit more. And I'm going to use that amazing. As soon as I saw that paper in the 6 Feet Apart collection, I knew that I had to use it as a full background, and I even knew exactly what pictures I wanted to use. So if you're anything like me, you have attended lots and lots of Zoom events, and this is a Zoom event I attended. It was a tea party, and I have some screenshots of a couple of my very favorite people on the screen with their pretty tea hats on. And so I just thought that this paper would be awesome, and I could cut these photos down and put them all onto the screen on the photo. And when I say picture, what I really mean is pattern paper. So here are the photos. They're going to fit really, really nicely here, but I want to add more color, and that's why I'm pulling in this Serenity collection. So this is the tea party. I wanted to have some fun with it. I didn't want to make it all about COVID, right? I liked the idea of having that background paper because it really was cool, and it really went, like, it was just awesome for my photos. But then I want to pull in some bright, fun patterns and some bright, fun colors. So I'm going to start by going ahead and backing all 6 of these photos. I'm going to back them with this 2 different patterns of paper, and I'm also going to use some of that cut apart. I'm actually going to use just the one part at the bottom. We're definitely going to do some fussy cutting today, so I'm kind of going through the patterns and picking out which ones I want to use and how I want to use them. I'm going to start with these 2 patterns, and I'm going to mat all of my photos with either one or the other of the patterns. And then I'm going to take this banner piece, and I'm going to trim it down, and I'm going to stream it or stretch it across the bottom of my page because that just looks awesome. So I alternated the colors, and I just put a really nice thin mat behind each of the photos just to add a little bit of pop. I'm going to place that border right across the bottom, and this is where my pictures are pretty much going to go. Now let's talk about embellishments. The embellishments that come in this collection are just some flair. There is also stamp sets and embossing powder, and one of the pattern papers is like a cut apart where I got that border from. So I'm just flipping through the pattern papers, finding elements that I can then fussy cut and create a couple of clusters. So I'm definitely going to use some of these blue circles, but I'm just going to cut a couple off the edge. I know that I don't have a lot of room on this page because I did go ahead and add so many photos, and so I don't want to fussy cut more than what I think I'll actually need. I only have 1 sheet of each of these patterns, and so if I can, I'm kind of like, this is one of those packs where I'm going to be conserving. In fact, all my Wild Whisper products I got, the new ones, I just got the single papers. So we will definitely be kind of using and being, what's the word? Like fastidious? I don't know. Careful. So now I'm just going to fussy cut. I'm going to fussy cut all of these blue circles, and then I'm going to fussy cut 2 of those wreaths, and that's going to give me plenty of things that I can layer together for a couple of embellishment clusters. So now I have all of that fussy cutting done, and it's time to place these. Now you can tell that these are big. Like the wreaths that I cut are big. The circles I cut are fairly big, and you can tell from my page I don't have a lot of space here. Sorry for the headshot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everything kind of run off of the page. And then what that allows me to do, and you'll see it here, is I can then kind of trim off, and I end up with, I think, 3 or I think I ended up with 4 of those little wreath pieces. So I've already taped down all of the pictures, and you can see here the other side of that paper has toilet paper all over it. That might be useful later. And so I am just going to go ahead and kind of tuck these little wreaths in at different areas of the page. I love how this turned out. I was able to really utilize that little bit of paper I had fussy cut, and I was really able to get it so that it worked really well. And suddenly this page that, you know, was a little bit that had some darker tones, some more neutral tones, suddenly we can add pops of this beautiful color, and it's going to completely change the entire look of the page. It didn't take much to get this look. It just took a little bit of fussy cutting. Now I'm going to go ahead and get those blue pieces in. And same thing, I mostly cut from the edge because I want the embellishment clusters to run off the edge. It really helps with the whole feel of this layout. I think it kind of makes, it works. It looks really good. I am super, super happy with this page. I ended up using all of these little circles that I cut and all of the wreaths, even the little pieces that ended up being offcuts. And actually, as I put my title together, we're going to need to cut a few more, which I am totally fine with. I'd rather cut a few more than have to have lots of extras and then come back in and want to use the other side of that sheet of paper. So you can see here how fun this is, how quickly this went from being kind of maybe even a sad kind of layout, you know, because you can't see your friends and you're on Zoom, to being like fun and cute. I really, really love her designs. So once I have all of those little clusters pieced together and layered up, I'm going to grab the flares. I'm going to use 3 of the flares. And again, same thing. I'm just putting them in 3 different areas of my page to add something that's not paper, a little bit of something that's not paper. And then we're going to do some die cutting. So I know I want to use a die. I pulled out my very favorite Everett metal dies. These are from Kathy Zilski, and you can get them at Simon Says Stamps. I love, love, love them. And I wanted to create some dimensional die cut letters. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of these sheets of pattern papers. These are the same 2 that I used pretty much throughout the creation of this layout. I backed some of the photos with it. I think the other side of that purple paper is where I got the wreaths from. And then I decided I really wanted to create the look of the foam thickers, where the top is a maybe a metallic type of a look, but then the foam underneath is like that bright pink. Have you ever seen those thickers? They're so cute. Anyway, I decided to try that. So I grabbed this gorgeous pink cardstock from my stash. This is from the Cardstock Warehouse. I'm using my crystal katana. I've had a lot of questions about this recently. So a crystal katana is a jewelry making supply. It's not made for scrapbooking, but it works fabulously in scrapbooking. And my good friend Christina is actually in the process of stocking these in her shop. So as soon as she has them stocked, I will be sharing links and shouting it from the rooftops. Now, this is a tool that is made for jewelry makers. It's not priced inexpensively. They run between $16 and $20, but totally, totally worth it, and really great addition to your scrapbook room if you work with little things. I have done all the market research for you. This is a fabulous, fabulous tool. So you can see here I have all of my letters stacked up, and now we're just going to glue them down. So I knew where I needed my title to end, and I knew that if I ran out of space, I could put the little T like up above. And that's what I'm going to end up doing for this. I'm using Nuvo Deluxe adhesive just to get good placement on all of these layered die cut letters. And you can see here, I needed to put that T like kind of up above, which was totally fine, but it did leave me with this little gappy area. So I'm just going to grab my fussy cutting scissors. I'm going to grab a couple more little pieces in area, like I think I fussy cut like half of a blue circle, and then just a couple of the purple leaves or the purple flowers to fill in that little gap in the corner there. And that will just fill in that area and keep it from looking like it was unintentional or you know, something like that. I like the idea of kind of filling that area in with another cluster. And although that means that there are kind of, no, there's not, because the whole title piece would be one cluster. There's still three. And then instead of cutting another whole wreath out, I just cut the flowers. So I just grabbed 2 of the purple flowers, and I grabbed 2 that were off the edge of the page because I didn't need a whole flower. I'm only filling in this tiny little bit. And just like all of my other embellishment clusters, I want this one to kind of run off of the page as well. And that will complete my layout. Be sure to head over to the Wild Whisper website if you want any of these products. I know the 6 Feet Apart and the Serenity line are going fairly quickly. You can use my promo code DTSarah to save a little bit on your order. And if you're in the US, you can take a peek over at a Cherry on Top because they are also stocking both of these collections. I don't know how their inventory is though, so you might be good, you might not be. But I'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye.